Right, I actually videoed this a couple of days ago, but I made such a pig's ear of it, I've just abandoned those video clips, and I'm going to do this completely from scratch again. So what we have here is a Galayou Y4. It's a PTZ exterior or interior camera. Resolution is 2K. I've got 6 of these around the property, well 7 now, because I've just bought another one to replace one with a dodgy lens. But having looked at all of them, all of the lenses are showing a degree of, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's a sort of foggy coating over a lot of the lens. Some of them are a lot worse. One of them, when I look at the picture, it's been quite hazy for a while. Now I've assumed that when I've been viewing that footage, it's just because the sun is from that direction and it's just washing out the picture. But now I've inspected it, one of them is really covered in this coating. Now it looks originally, initially like you could just wipe that off, and I have cleaned this camera just for the video purposes, but this does not clean off of the lens. I mean, this particular one's got almost a sort of lump there. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Perhaps I should have got the microscope on and just filmed it on there. But as I say, all 6 cameras have got this sort of coating, hazy lens coating. They were all bought May, June and July last year, so they've really just lasted over a year. They're great cameras. I mean, they work perfectly. I pay for the cloud storage, so they're all recording to the cloud. They all plug into USB adapters. This is an older, slightly older version. It's probably one of the first ones, or is the first one I bought, and at the time they were forcing you to use the old style USB plug into this. All the newer ones, the USB cable is actually pre-attached. You can't remove it, and it's obviously a better seal. There is a silicone rubber seal around this, and it hasn't been a problem. The only thing I noticed was if you don't use their cable, most other cables don't quite fit into that recessed socket, so you end up just trimming off some of the plastic from whatever lead you're trying to use, which isn't a problem, and they've been absolutely fine. Currently £25, which is really good. The subscription for up to 7 cameras, I think it's £14 or £15 a month. The features are excellent. You can have motion detection, 2-way audio, alerts sent to you if it detects what it thinks is a person moving in the field of view. I mean, they're great. Look them up. I'll give the links. But lasting just a year is, it's not ideal. Not when the rest of it's absolutely perfect. They decided to use a plastic lens, and I don't know whether it is the coating that they've put on the lens or the actual lens surface itself deteriorating. I did, as I said, strip one down the other day, and that's what it is. It screws into a little socket, as we'll see at the moment. And I have actually replaced this. Managed to get some 2.8mm replacements from Amazon. Also bought a 3.6mm because I wasn't sure what field of view they actually had. It turns out it is a 2.8, having fitted one of those. So we have a replacement 2.8 lens. If anything, just perhaps a fraction shorter. M12, and I'm assuming again that this is a plastic thread. I haven't done anything to test it. Let's have a look. Yeah, I would say that's almost certainly plastic. Obviously glass would be better, but that would bump up the cost, which I'd frankly rather have if they charged another £5 £10 and said it was a glass lens, I'd be much happier with that and would have paid it anyway. So we're going to have a look at taking this apart. Since buying the original lens, I also came across a complete replacement. That's the interior unit, and that just screws 2 screws into the circuit board, and this wire, I'm assuming it's some sort of dew heater. I don't know, not sure what that is for. There is a there is a little filter at the back of that. It's not obvious. It kind of looks red sometimes at the, you get it at the right angle. Anyway, so we've got 2 choices to replace this damaged lens. I haven't contacted the manufacturer yet, but I will do. First thing you're going to need to do is take out this single screw at the back. Now, of course, this could apply equally to many other CCTV cameras for home use. That just comes off. And you've got 4 screws just in the back there. It's actually pretty easy to get into, take apart, so anybody should be able to do this replacement, especially the replacement if this whole unit happens to fit. It's a little bit more fiddly changing the lens because they have obviously optimized the focus and then put some sort of epoxy on the threads just to lock it in place. You can get that off and then undo this with a pair of pliers. Right, that's those 4 screws. Just spin that down there and lift that front off. There we go. Now you can see the circuit board. This may be slightly different to the one from yesterday. There are 6 little screws in there holding that circuit board in place. I'm actually going to mark which way around this is as well. I'm just going to put a mark on that SD card holder and the plastic just to make sure it goes in the correct way. And then we're going to remove these screws. What was I saying? Focus. So yeah, when you replace the lens, you're going to have to focus it again. It can be a little bit fiddly to do. It's certainly possible. And we've got a couple of different coloured screws there, so this is slightly different to the later version. These are going into a metal thread, a metal nut. That's not how it is on the other ones. So are we done there? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, this is different. Yeah, this has come here. There we go. So this one has those inserts, and the new ones and the other models don't have inserts like that. So you can see that epoxy resin on there. They've put it on both sides just to lock everything in place. Now I don't know whether that will go in or not. It certainly looks like it will. About the height, it seems to stick out a bit. problem is, if it's not in the right place, it is going to not be in focus, and it may be impossible to focus, but we'll try it. Let's try it. What the hell? If it's going to be easier for people to try, just change this. Now, we don't have screws for it. Actually, is that going to sit on there properly? Yeah, it is. So we're going to need to find some screws. What I'm going to do is use 2 of those. Oh, hang on, let's see what we've got. Have we got any tiny little screws? Let's have a look. We have circuit board screws for some other bits and pieces here, so yeah, that's going to be pretty close. Let's try that. First of all, we're going to try the plug, make sure that's the same. Yeah, that seems fine. Right, next thing will be, how far is that lens going to stick through that rubber cover at the front? No, it's okay actually. Just a little bit further than the original, so that's okay. I can adjust it. Right, let's get these screws back in. Now, if this particular one works, this is a very easy DIY job, because you only need a screwdriver. The lens replacement is a whole lot more fiddly. Now the lenses are £5 or £6 on Amazon, and I think the complete unit was probably about 10. So that is in. The lens itself sticks out a little bit further than the original lens, but let's see what happens when we fire it up. We will be able to adjust it. Hopefully we can achieve focus. If not, we'll be back to square one and we'll be changing the lens itself. These screws are stainless, which is nice, but it does make them a pain to get back in the top holes here. is that. Now what we're going to do is connect it up to the 5 volts and see if we can get focus or not. Yeah, fortunately they quickly changed this to a fixed lead. Although once I've trimmed that down, it is a good fit, and you could have always put some silicone around there, but stuff is running down. I also use the polystyrene sheet that comes in the box, and I just cut 2 slots in it and I put it over the top of this, and it protects the camera quite well. Okay, let's pop this in here. Make sure that's still working. Just goes through a rotational limit test. And then eventually we've got a blue flashing light at the moment, and we need to wait for it to start blue and red flashing. It didn't seem to rotate as far that way, not to worry. So now we've got slow blue flashing.
Reset is successful.
There we go. Now it's got red flashing, and then it will change to red and blue, hopefully. Actually, it might have already connected to this because it's already been paired. Let's log in and have a look. No, it's still arsing around. Now we've got finally the red and blue flashing, so we're going to go into the app, we're going to hit add device, we're going to scroll down to Galayou Y4, and we're going to do the QR code one. Actually, before we do this, I'm going to make sure I've got flight mode on. We don't want cellular access. I'm going to make sure the VPN is also off, which it is, and make sure it's flashing. Yeah, next. Connect. Yeah, that's fine. We're connecting to our network here. We want to enter the name and password.
Please point the QR code towards the camera lens and wait for the scan.
See if it will scan it. It may not. Sometimes it needs to be outside. Just not be in focus, so it can't do it that way. So what we'll do is we will go back a step and back another step, and this time we'll go for the Wi-Fi connection by soft AP. Just click on that. Yeah, it's flashing blue and red, and we connect to this. It's got a Wi-Fi connection. It comes up as a WVC number. We can click on that and it will connect to that. So it's connected, connected with our internet. Let's go back. Unable to connect to the server. Please try again. Please wait 120 seconds. I'm going to film this as it goes. I might trim it down in editing if I edit this, but otherwise we'll just sit and wait, because this is the process you're going to have to go through.
Registering on the server.
There we are. That's good. get a progress bar. Oh, I've closed it down by mistake. Let's go back again. Yeah, you get a progress bar on there.
The pairing is successful.
And then
You can start using the camera now.
And then you can call it something else. So I don't know where this is going. So we're going to call this camera 7 just for the hell of it. Click on done, click on OK. Oh, it is completely out of focus. So no wonder it couldn't find anything. Yeah, totally out of focus. Don't know whether we're going to be able to get that in focus or not. Just turn the volume down because we're going to get feedback. Now it's sticking out too far, so you'd think if anything it's got to be turned in. Yep, still seems miles out. Get in there. Yeah, it could be this just isn't possible. Yeah, definitely get in there, but I think we might run out of adjustment before it's in focus. Oh, we're so close. But I think we've just run out of room. As you can see, it's close, but not quite enough. Oh, it is so close. Oh, I think we might have cracked it. I think that is about perfect as it's going to get. Let's see if I can hold this out there with my hand. Yeah, so there you go. That is absolutely bang on, I would suggest. And the camera is still in the rubber seal. So we have successfully repaired that for about 10 quid. I think the focus is pretty good. Yeah, can't see any issues there. Maybe the tiniest of tweaks, but now we've just lost the picture. Let's go back in again. Looks like I've lost the Wi-Fi connection. Let's just switch that off again and back on and turn the plane mode off. There we go, Wi-Fi is back. Let's shut that down, try again. Offline? Why is it offline? Got no lights on? Oh, has that come out a little bit? Yeah, I might have pulled that out a fraction. It says offline, so definitely something not right there. Let's reset it. There we go. Let's refresh that. There we go, and that is back online. It doesn't look quite as in focus this time. Maybe we just moved it a fraction. Yeah, that's better. So, yeah, there we go. So done. And that's pretty much it. Just a question of putting the cover back on, and I'm sure that can probably apply to a whole number of different cameras. They're certainly not going to use bespoke parts. They're going to use whatever they make routinely in China for this sort of thing. And for a tenner, a bit of a clean, 10 quid, job done. I think that picture looks pretty good. Obviously we can tweak it, we can install this wherever it needs to go, and with the iPad with a bigger picture we can just tweak that lens. I don't need to lock it in place because it is quite firmly held by that silicone rubber seal. So there we go, Galayou 2K cameras. It's the Y4 version, and this is the slightly older one. So now we just need to get some more of these.